What's up, guys? This is Turbo LS Dakota, named subject to change currently, but we're just going to do an overview of this junk back here, kind of what I've done to it and what I plan on doing, what I got coming, and future goals for the truck. Try and do this YouTube thing to document it a little more. So let's go over it. So we're going to start at the front here. Tip to butt, as Grand Thumb would say, for all my gun guys on YouTube. Start up here at the very front. It's just a basic 2-in, 1-out intercooler off of Amazon, I believe. And the hood's over there. It's just a factory hood I cut up and put a crappy cowl in, but come up in here. This is a 1967 eBay aluminum radiator for a Mustang, for a 1967 Mustang. I think I got it for $98 on sale a couple years ago. It does pretty well at keeping the truck cool. I need to actually shroud the fan, but that's that. And then come up here to the turbos. They're just two GT35s off of eBay. As you can see, totally precisions. I built the whole turbo kit. Obviously, it's got the plug burner up and forward headers, but the motor itself is a bone stock Gen 3 5.3 stock rod, stock pistons, everything. All I had done to it was a little machine work. Put new cam bearings in it, new main bearings and rod bearings. So when I pulled the cam out, the fourth cam bearing was welded to the cam lobe, or the cam shaft itself. So figured, why not put a little money into this thing to hopefully get it to stay living, which it has. It still has great oil pressure after 2 years. It is a stock Gen 3 intake. The only thing done to the engine is a sloppy stage 3 camshaft and a set of 799 heads. You can see that back there. All the cold side is made by me. It's all stainless. I don't have an AC/DC TIG welder, so made everything out of stainless. Just recently finally converted to E85 with the sloppy mechanics plug and play harness. 100% worth the money. Makes the wiring super easy. All you do is plug it into the power tap. I'll show you that inside, and then connect to an input of your choosing, and you're off to the races, literally or figuratively. Let's go over the coils. So I mounted the coils down here on the frame rail. They're just the stock truck coils that came with the truck, or the engine, sorry. And then I used LT1, I believe, like 96 Camaro spark plug wires. Shot down here. Trimmed them up to fit. So far I haven't burnt any plug wires. It does have eBay head studs. They haven't given me any issues so far, and it's seen 24 pounds of boost, which is probably pretty spicy for a Gen 3 motor, but it's Holley's saving it. And I did originally have eBay LS9 head gaskets. Those started weeping pretty bad, so I swapped out for a set of BTR small bore 7-layer head gaskets. Other than that, there's pretty much just a stock SBE LS Gen 3. It has a Turbo 400 in it. It's a BTE unit. Let's see, you can kind of see it down there. It's got a JAGS XHD converter. I believe it's a 3000 stall or 3200. I don't remember. It's pretty tight for the motor, but it works. And there's that BTE logo right there. This is a stock case. Stock case, stock gear set. 400 with a trans brake and a billet valve body. As we come down here, it's got a chromoly drive shaft by Metalworks. I believe it's Metalworks and Mechanical in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Here's the X-brace I booger welded in a couple weeks back. It does the job. Keeps the truck from twisting as bad, especially the chassis. The chassis was twisting real bad before. Maybe I'll throw in some pictures. One thing I forgot to go over while I was up at the front of the truck was the front suspension. It has all been rebuilt. Everything has polyurethane bushings in it now. New tie rods. It's the original rack. Just looped the in and out from the power steering pump. Put some power steering fluid in there. Make it manual steering. It has comp 3-way shocks in the front as well, if you can see those in there. And then to lower the truck, I did it the hillbilly way and just heated the coil spring to lower the front end a little bit. And yeah, I mean, stock brakes. They've just been rebuilt. You can see the rotors have gotten a little hot. But with the bump stops removed out of the control arm, upper control arm, it has about 5 to 6 inches of travel. So should be plenty for marginal surfaces with better shocks. In the bed here we have a onboard air. Originally I was going to use this for boost control, but I'm currently still just running it in open loop. Since Holley came out with V3, they added open loop to the normal boost control IO or boost control ICF. So I didn't have to keep using the custom table, and it'd be a little harder to build boost ramps for drag racing. So currently I just use this to fill my tires. If I drive to and from the track on whatever tires I'm racing on. I added a outlet QD in there. But eventually I'm going to switch to dome control for a little more stable and predictable boost. And just have a run-of-the-mill eBay fuel cell. I believe I bought it for $100 or something like that. It's a 20 gallon. It's close enough to 20 gallons for what I need, and it adds enough weight. It adds a little weight over the rear end. Got the battery mounted back here. We got a battery cutoff switch. And I just recently added this. It's a 1/4-inch steel plate. I just welded it to the tailgate of the truck and then welded a 3/4-inch grade 8 bolt to the plate so I can hang weight off of it. So before I was using a bag of concrete wrapped in a trash bag so I didn't fill the bed with concrete dust and spread that all over the track. Currently I just have 325s, so 75 pounds on each side, plus the weight of the plate. I haven't run it with this yet. I was running more weight on this side to try and get the twist out of it, because I currently don't have an anti-roll bar, but that's changing. I have a Tin Soldiers anti-roll bar on the way. Come down here to the back. It's a bone stock Ford 88 out of an Explorer. I pulled it out of the junkyard for like $200. All I did was weld the carrier because the trans brake was not nice to the limited slip. And I also booger welded the axle tubes to the housing. Try and give it a little more stability. It does have stock leaves that are a little twisted and lowering blocks. It's stock hangers and homemade cowl tracks. It's just a swage tube with some rod ends and Nicky Bobby's gap brackets. Nick Taylor, Nicky Bobby. It's just his gap brackets. Other than that, it's 100% a stock rear end out of an Explorer. And then I got a set of Comp 3-way adjustable shocks. Those will be getting swapped out for Vikings eventually. Don't know when, but eventually, when the budget allows. As for the fuel system, it's just two Bosch 044 style fuel pumps. One's a AEM 400 and the other one's a Amazon Osiris 380 liter per hour. It just comes out of the fuel cell into a 100 micron stainless filter. Comes up this all PTFE line, wires off to the pumps, goes down, wires into the 10 micron Tractor Supply special filter, and runs up its -8 feed, -6 return to the front of the truck. There will be a video of the Tin Soldier's anti-roll bar install, hopefully soon, depending on work and such, if I can get to it this week. Come up here into the cab. It's got stock bench seat, no cage yet. We'll have a cage soon. It's got a Tinker 7-inch digital dash and a Reversion Raceworks dash bezel. Still has a stereo and speakers. We got a B&M, I believe it's a Bandit shifter, trans brake button on there. Got the bump button right here, /scramble wired into the horn. And then we got the Terminator little 3.5 Game Boy screen mounted down here to the shifter pedestal facing me so I can trigger the data log on and off easier. That's basically an interior view of the truck. I don't think there's much else to go over right now. But yeah. If I've done the math correctly, right now I probably have 12 or 13 grand into this truck. I bought it for $600 off an old timer on Facebook Marketplace. I got the motor for $200 off a guy I work with. Put about $600 in machine work into it, and another $500 or $600 in the cam kit with lifters and chromoly push rods and everything. It does have also, I forgot to mention, the trunnion upgrade from Comp. So yeah, it's a pretty budget truck. Trying to go fast on a tight budget. Thanks, guys.